Xena. What I wouldn't give to see a remake or rewatch you again for the 38th time. I swear, Xena makes these women out here look like narcoleptic whores with daddy issues. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your girl Crow, and I'm starting to get on this nice little trending topic about what I do like, but I got to mix it in with a little bit of hate. But welcome to Crow's Corner, where we talk about everything: books, TVs, rants, movies, more shows, all the above. But I am going to be doing a two-part special here, um, because there are some people who want me to go back to the 90s and do a 90s kind of deal. And I am doing a two-parter special on this subject called Xena versus the World. And no, I'm not going to be going back and looking into the history of Xena and doing all that stuff. I think a lot of people can check out YouTube videos that pertain to that. But also as well, too, when you think about a lot of things as well, uh, this is going to be a two-parter series. It really is. It's going to be a two-parter series. I will be starting off today with Xena versus today's female characters, and I will be doing and finishing up with part two with Xena versus today's male characters, or male characters overall, since they haven't really much changed in the last 150 years, just like your boyfriend who refuses to put the toilet seat down even though you've been living together for 10 years. But let's dive into this situation. If anybody knows me, they know that Xena is one of my all-time favorite shows in pretty much history. If you don't know anything about that, you would know a certain kind of deal that I see a lot of great positive traits with Xena. I really do. And if you hold Xena up to today's female characters, today's female characters are trash. I'm sorry to say it like this. And before we get on this, oh my God, Crow's ranting. She hates all females. No, I'm not a catty bitch like that. So save that for the housewives or the basketball wives of Florida or God knows what. I'm not recording at home today. I'm actually somewhere else. But at the end of the day, how can I say it like this? Xena has got to be one of the most prolific figures in daytime television series. We're not even going to talk about General Hospital because I don't watch that shit. But when you compare Xena to today's female characters, this woman and the writers of that time, especially the writers of that time, had a great head on their shoulders. We're not talking about dumb and dumbass, because dumb and dumbass are what's wrong with today's current fashion of writing. Dumb and dumbass are the same exact male executives that sit here in Hollywood and think that they can write female characters when they clearly have no objectification or no kind of idea how to write a female character at all. I mean, if you take, and I'm not just exclusively saying D&D. Excuse me, I'm just not exclusively saying them. I'm saying there's a lot of male writers today that do not know what the fuck they're doing with female characters. And I think this is why we should push for more female writers. Not you, Misha Green. Not you, Musty Green. Not you, Musty. Not you, Musty Green. You are not a good female writer, because that's a whole different tangent that I'm running into. She is a dumpster fire on wheels running through a field of crackheads down a fucking open hill. That is musty Misha Green for you. But as for, people, as for other people, I understand that the production company in Hollywood doesn't always exactly run your way all the time, every single time. You do have to make sacrifices and concessions to make a show work. But a lot of these writers are making too many fucking concessions, and their work is just purely out garbage. I mean, if we take today's female characters, I mean, minus the crappy storylines, I mean, on ethical kind of sense, minus the crappy storylines, they aren't shit. I mean, seriously, the storylines are horrible, and a lot of these female characters are just as annoying as male protagonists. I really, whether they're antagonists or protagonists, they're both fucking annoying. To be quite honest, these female characters. I mean, take Captain Marvel, and let's take Rey from Star Wars. They're fucking annoying. And even though I enjoyed the new Star Wars series, I enjoyed it in a certain sense. The writing made it so bad that I couldn't even see what the fuck Rey was doing as a character, even though she didn't stand out to me. I mean, she was like cardboard trying to dry itself in the rain. That boring and that futile and that fucking uninspiring. And that's just what I'm saying about it. I mean that's that. And same way with Captain Marvel. I'd rather watch my clothes dry for 2 hours in a fucking laundromat than fucking literally watch Captain Marvel again. I just canceled my Disney Plus subscription behind that bitch. Okay, I really did. And that's not even just her. I even just got finished with Wonder Woman. Boring as fuck. I mean, seriously, it was boring as fuck to me. No offense. It just was. The action was cute and all when it was cute, but Chris Pine just literally fucked up Wonder Woman's whole vibe. I don't know. That was like a joint effort between Wonder Woman and Chris Pine, who sucked the most. And I mean, like I said, these female characters are written by incompetent staff who do not know women and their extent of emotions. But mind you, Xena was written by a male staff, and they happen to get everything right. Because when you take Xena's positive traits, you take Xena as a decent character. And she's not a Mary Sue at any point. You know, there's a deal where Xena always tried to do the right fucking thing. Xena always tried to do the right thing, even when things seemed like it was so fucking impossible. She always tried to do the right thing. And that is a really, really great trait to have in a female character, is always trying to do the right thing. See, today with today's female characters, they always try to do the right thing, but they never really do it well. If you get what I'm saying, they never really do it well. And there's a lot of situations where a lot of males always talk about, oh, well, she's a Mary Sue. And a lot of them are Mary fucking Sues. They're Mary Sues, but they're only Mary Sues because the team, today's female characters, their team behind them, the men backing them, are only just power hungry, annoying males who just want to upset incels and toxic males. That's all they want to do, is use a woman's identity on screen as a main character with no male assistance just to anger incels. That's all it is. They use an annoying agenda to push anger insults. And that's why you see YouTube videos and like, oh my God, why did they have to put a female character? And I don't like insults or toxic males as much as the next bitch. Sometimes I just want to pistol whip them into the next fucking galaxy. I really fucking hate toxic males and toxic insults. I really fucking hate them. But they do present a fucking point within their craziness. They present a point where I watch all these female characters today, and they are just they're trying too hard. Often I see a lot of them trying to put on the tough girl act, but they're just so fucking like annoying with it. They're trying so fucking hard. I mean, think about that big fired bitch from The Mandalorian. They just fired her. I don't know her fucking name, but she's the big bitch that was always manhandling every goddamn body. And no, when I say big bitch, I don't mean big bitch because of her size. If you really check her shit, she just got fired from The Mandalorian, like literally, because she was a fucking bitch. So I call her the big bitch on The Mandalorian. Okay? And she just was trying too motherfucking hard for me. just too fucking hard for me. And it's like they're trying to do the tough girl acts, but they're just so unnatural. It is so unorganic. It's just like, we're here and we're gonna do this and we're the girl squad. And I hate when they always put three or two more females together and then they should be like, we're the girl squad and we get shit done. And I'm just like, okay, we get shit done. I mean, seriously, I work with about 50 niggas a motherfucking day, and I never see men saying, we get shit done. It's just, this nigga works on this, and this nigga works on that, and my black ass works on this. That's what it is, pretty much. And even when there are solo females in solo positions, they never fight their companions or anything. I mean, one thing about Xena is that I loved, her and Gabrielle never fucking agreed all the way. Not for 6 goddamn seasons. No, you cannot say that all's well is ends well with Gabrielle and Xena. And Gabrielle and Xena often disagreed on things. I remember there was a season where Gabrielle had a baby. It was a demonic baby. They did a cheap kind of cheesy playthrough of The Exorcist or The Omen, where Gabrielle she gets pregnant by this demon on an altar, and she ends up having this baby that's evil. Xena's like, kill that motherfucker, and then Gabrielle is like, nah, that's my baby. He's like, but you had a baby from a demon, and he's like, no, that's my baby still. And they literally argued about this all season. And mind you, the baby was evil. It was strangling priests. It was bitch slapping goats. That baby was doing some shit. Okay? But they didn't agree. They didn't agree on shit. And mind you, Gabrielle, spoiler alert, Gabrielle does let the baby go and live, but then lies to Xena and tells Xena, like, oh yeah, I killed my baby. I murked that little motherfucker. And next thing you know, this bitch is back. She grown as hell, evil as fuck, still out here choking priests and shit and doing all the above. So every good intention on Xena, things that are done with good intent, often come back to bite them, and then they have to face it together and have their relationship tested. You know, these women have companions like little birds and shit and whatever the hell it is. I don't know, some Snow White shit. These bitches don't ever motherfucking argue with them, not never argue with them. I'm just like, damn, like, you not finna argue? Like, you're not gonna have any opposing ideas? It's just like, they're like, we do the right thing. This is what we say. That's it. That's today's female protagonist today. Cheesy, one-line, one-shot trick pony bitches. And I'm sorry to say that. I want to believe so much in women kind of categories. I really do. I want to believe so much into it. I mean, I'm literally pleading for people, because as a woman myself, it's very important. Whether I see them on screen as white, black, Asian, tan, Native American, I want to see this adaptability with women again. It's so weird how we got it right in the 90s, but then got it completely wrong in 2021. How are we getting it wrong? But then again, cults, I mean, think about it. Right now, cults are in, cults and cult personalities are in 2021, and the world's going to hell in a handbasket, despite the issue that we almost think we saved our nation, but we don't know if we are completely out of the hellfire yet. So, I mean, I can't just, I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Because I'd rather watch Xena 300 fucking times than watch any of these basic, boring, bland, saltless bitches. I'd rather do it. I said it. Yes, saltless bitches. They just seem like they just going through the motions, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be a hero to girls. Well, Xena was a hero to girls too. I mean, Xena didn't play no shit. I remember I fucking literally cut out a Dixie fucking plate. I cut out the middle of that bitch and I was throwing that shit around my motherfucking living room at 6 years old, running around thinking it was thinking it was that damn chakra that she was running around with. I was out there in these streets with Xena, okay? I mean, I really was. Hell, and don't tell me that your 30-year-old asses today ain't cutting Dixie plates out in the middle and throwing that shit around the goddamn room because you trying to have a moment. Because I know my black ass did. Ain't no shame in my game. I loved Xena that much. I really did. I loved her that damn much. And I have a real chakra as well, too, from the DVD special box set. But that's missing somewhere because I didn't threw it one too many times. That's missing, and windows got broken, neighbors got called. So I'm just going to say it like this. Xena was very, very, very much a tangible character. Even though, even though Xena did have his little cheesy moments, his little filler episodes, but still it was good. It still was good. And also, too, Xena didn't say these annoying ass one fucking liners and shit. Like, that's another thing I think a lot of people can't stand about today's female protagonists. They're just like saying these little cheesy one liners, trying to pose and shit, doing all this kind of bullshit. And I'm just like, oh my motherfucking God, why don't you just take his fucking head off? Like, God, it's like I be rooting for the villain sometime. I'll be like, oh my God, kill this bitch because she hurting me. She hurting me. I mean, and when you look at Xena as a whole too, it's just that she was very advanced. I mean, she was bisexual, her and Gabrielle. They were both bisexual, but it wasn't an agenda. It wasn't this agenda to say that, oh, we're both gay and this is who we are. They just were gay or bisexual or queer. I'm going to call them queer-coded. They were just queer-coded women who loved each other enough to travel with each other forever. Okay? And even die together and get stuck in a goddamn iceberg together. And raised their decrepit daughter, which was Xena's second child, Octavia. She was raised by the Romans, but that's a whole different story. Okay, but they've kissed on screen. I think about twice or a couple of times, thrice, I can't remember. But they were queer-coded women who loved each other so much, but it wasn't a big deal. See, today's situation is everything gotta be a big deal. As a black woman, as a black queer woman, I have to say this. Oh, Black Lives Matter, Queer Lives Matter. Why does everything have to be a fucking socialite for a big ass idea? Why don't we just put these black people in, these queer people in, don't kill them, and that's it? Why does it have to be this big overlapping fucking thing? And that's what makes me mad. And that's why I love Xena and I go and rewatch it so many times. Because it's not a big thing. They're just two women who are queer-coded who travel together. I mean, and the thing about Xena that I love about Xena is Xena was a strong woman. But it wasn't like she didn't need help sometimes from Gabrielle. From Gabrielle. It's not like she did not need help from her. See, today with these dumbass fucking women protagonists, it's like they don't need no help. They just all Mary Sued out. I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Like, somebody help them sometime. It's not gonna kill them. I mean, as well, too. And even when you take Gabrielle and you take her as a protagonist and a decent protagonist, she even goes from being the damsel in distress, always getting rescued by Xena all the time, to a staff-wielding, fucking psi-wielding, bad fucking bitch. Okay, like, she really do. This bitch even had, like, laser beams coming out of her chest or something. No, I'm not talking about her titties either. I mean, she was doing all this stuff back in the day. It was cool as fuck. I can still watch it today, and it will still be considered cool as fuck. Not to mention, they were both fucking cute. I mean, not saying that if they were ugly, it wouldn't matter either, but they were both cute and had a kind of innocence around their way. I mean, the adaptability as well too. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be shitting too much on Captain Marvel because it's one movie comparative to let's say a fucking compared to a fucking television show that had been on for over 6 seasons. So I get that part, and I know that part would be unjustly fair, but it's kind of like, do I fucking care at this point? I'm not doing a series to a series. I mean, I could compare Xena to a series, I could compare Xena to a movie, but at the end of the fucking day, to be quite honest, Xena can whack out both. She can beat a movie with a female protagonist, main female protagonist, and a show with a main female protagonist. And then she could beat out any motherfucking bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And as much as I love Daenerys Stormborn from Game of Thrones, and I loved her arc, Xena would pimp slap fucking Daenerys and put her ass on the nearest motherfucking corner and have her sucking dick for fucking aspirin. That's exactly what the fuck Xena would be doing. Xena would be doing that. And then Xena would take Drogon, then ride Drogon, and then take Drogon to kill all the enemies that she wanted to kill. That's how bad Xena would be. I know I ran into a rant right there, but that's how badass Xena would fucking be. Okay? And that's the thing. I mean, that's Xena's legacy that nobody can really all the way ever touch. The closest one who can touch it is maybe Buffy. And that's it. That's the closest one. And the thing about the show in general with Xena is it wasn't made as a political agenda to piss off incels or every other male scumbag who has an issue that's on 4chan. Okay, like seriously, the show was not made for them. If they had their little show called Hercules, there you go. That was kind of cool how they did it. They had the little show named Hercules, then they did the spin-off, which was Xena. So they literally, it was just two sexes of people going their own separate ways. Sometimes they would cross together and they would cross together on each show. They would. They would cross over with shows. And a lot of viewers would sometimes watch Hercules, and a lot of viewers would sometimes watch Xena, who were part of certain fan bases and stuff like that. So it was enjoyable for everybody. It was two separate things, the Hercules adventures and the Xena adventures. And sometimes they would cross over into episodes and stuff like that. But between those two, it still was enjoyable for people to watch. And possibly because it was the 90s and not everybody had a fucking socially weird kind of adaptation or lack of adaptation. People just were people at that point. Okay? And how do you call it? Even though people can sit there, well, Xena was a Mary Sue and she had all this strength and she was just murking up guys. Technically, Xena wasn't a Mary Sue because a lot of Xena's weaknesses or her weakness or whatever her weakness was, a lot of her weakness was found in Gabrielle. Like, a lot of her weakness was found in Gabrielle. And even though Gabrielle had managed to find her strength, sometimes Gabrielle, with her naivety, or sometimes she would fall into traps even later on. But would she fall into them as often later on in the seasons? No, she wouldn't. So that was a lot of what went down. And, Xena was just a badass. And she really was. With or without godly powers, with or without angelic powers, or her being a Valkyrie, or whatever the case may be. Like, Xena was not a Mary Sue. And if she was, it was very well hidden. I've watched this show enough fucking times to know. Okay? I mean, I really have. And the thing of it is, she's not a greedy person either. She wasn't greedy for power. She just wanted to be redeemed and forgiven. I mean, she has a better motherfucking redemption arc than Jaime fucking Lannister. I mean, seriously. And when she did reach her redemption and where she was at, kind of, even though the end of the season, the end of the stuff was a little bit kooky, but the last episode was kooky in its own way. Still, it wasn't like she went back to being an asshole. I mean, every now and again, Xena will relapse on something, but then something will wake her up. Meaning that just, how do you call it, showed that she struggled against her darker impulses a lot of the times. When she would go back to her old warlord days and black out and have these moments, it was just her struggling with her darker impulses because good always won out, even within her. And this is the funny part. Like I said, all this was written by male staff in the 90's. Sensible male staff who knew women and who still, and it isn't just about knowing women. See, I think that's the problem too much with today's situation with these trash ass female protagonists today. They think that it's just a women fucking thing, but it's not just a women thing. I get Me Too movement is a very serious fucking thing, and that Me Too, He Too, all the above, people being assaulted sexually, feeling uncomfortable in certain kind of ways, it's a thing. I do get that. But the situation is as well too, when you think about it, the staff wrote, the male staff that wrote Xena were just giving Xena a human story. And I think that is a lot of the problem today, why these wet cardboards of bitches, like, yeah, I say bitches because they are not really, oh God, they're so annoying. This is why these goddamn narcoleptic whores with daddy issues that are currently today in film and show always will lack over Xena. They will always lack over Xena. They will always and forever lack, even on their best day, because the writers and the male staff that is behind them and that are behind them often lack a lot of vision, and they don't write human stories. That is plain as it is. That is as plain as it is. It really does. And if they do write a story for a female, and she's strong and she's powerful, she's like Xena, they always just make her an evil bitch. Think about that. And like I said, for the most part, I will say it like this. For the most part, it's really sad that they can't go back and watch this and see what's going on with the situation. But that's all I had to say today, and that's all I will say today. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Like I said, to my editor, Carrie. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out. Look out for my Discord, Crow's Corner. Go ahead, check that out. I hope you guys do good with that. Comment, like, subscribe, share with everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.